Welcome to Branding Your Business with Serifix, where we talk about branding with many talented and experienced designers and entrepreneurs. Let's learn together how we can improve our business through branding. Your host, the Serifix team, will be taking you on this journey. Let's build a community together. Today's episode is with Nelson. Nelson, you said you wanted to introduce yourself, so tell us about yourself.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Peter Nelson Isaiah, and I'm known as Nelson Concept. That's my own brand. Well, yeah, I'm a photographer, a filmmaker, and by filmmaker, I edit. I'm a director of photography, a writer, and a director. So I am well versed in the art of filmmaking and video making. So yeah, we're about to talk about how videos relate to branding.
Yeah.
And I'm excited.
I'm excited too. So our topic is using video to tell your brand story. And the reason why I actually thought it would be nice for you to talk about this was because of a call that we had once. And then I had this idea of doing a documentary video for a fashion brand. And then you were like, that's a branding technique now. And I was like, so Nelson knows branding stuff. So I was like, but let's, have this conversation so we can talk about using video to tell stories, for businesses. Yes. So let's first of all understand video and how important video is when it comes to creating a brand perception. So to form a perception in people's mind, how does video kind of play a role? Okay.
Oh yeah. So first off, I think when it comes to videos, right? First off, the person has to understand the business, the service, the company. They have to understand what branding is, right? They have to understand that, number one. I mean, you've already said it. It's not. It shouldn't really be called branding. It's more like brand perception. It's all about what the customer thinks about the product, service, or the company. It's like a reputation, right? So it's like it's looking at the company from the lenses of the customer or the client, right? And basically, you are exactly what your clients think you are. And that is branding. That is everything we need to know about branding in essence. And then you see that thing called videos here. It's an element of branding. It's an element of branding. The same way you have your logos, you have your packaging if you're delivering a product. The same way you have your employee relations if you're delivering a service. It's all about how all those things come together to achieve a perception of your company in the minds of the viewers. Sorry, I'm a video guy. but in the minds of your clients, in the minds of your customers. So it's all about how all of that innately, relates to what the customer thinks. So I feel like that's what people. That's like one thing that people tend to misunderstand when it comes to branding. People tend to think that it's about the video, only the video, or it's about only the logo. No, it's bigger than that. It's a culmination, and it's actually what the customer perceives service to be. However, jumping right back to your question, I think you asked how important is a video to creating brand perception. I mean, it's super important because with a video, you get the chance to tell stories, right? You can create a positive brand perception. Because I'm a filmmaker, and one thing I really love about films is the ability to rewrite perceptions in people's mind. There's something called media propaganda, and we see it a lot in top nations of the world, and they make movies to make themselves look absolutely good or absolutely rich and everything. Meanwhile, that might not be the case every single time, or every time you see a Chinese guy now, right? I hope that you guys will not cancel me. But every time you see an Asian person, the first thing that comes to your mind is this person has to know kung fu. All that is based off of what you've taken in throughout the years, the what the media has fed you. You get, like, the media just kept on shoving into your head that if you see an Asian person, they probably know how to fight Tai Chi, Taekwondo, Kung Fu, or the likes. So when it comes to video, everything that the customer perceives to be true about a brand comes from what they can see. Yeah. So if you're displaying a video, right, or I don't even want to or actually, let me just give some examples. There are basically like 3 types or 4 types of videos that really influence the brand. A brand, right? There's the story behind the brand. That's, you just make a very relatable video about your brand, and then you can tell a story, something that gets people to feel something that gets people to even share to their friends, and then they're like, oh my goodness, this is amazing, I can relate, then give it, send the video to your friend and everything. It gets people talking, and it doesn't feel like a commercial. It feels like just an emotional video where people are just drawn in. I don't know if people are familiar with some
I've seen such types of videos before. Like where the person just
do you have any examples?
Okay, so there's this brand, the name is Lovey. It's a business that an influencer started. So I actually watched a video that broke down her launch strategy and everything. So after she launched the collection, she did this particular video that basically talked about her as a person, because the reason why she started the brand was because she loves sunshades. Like, she's always wearing sunshades. She's a fashion influencer. So she kind of told her story from when she was young, how she's always into fashion and she was always modeling and all that. And then over time, she just really loves sunglasses. And then basically that translated into the brand and everything. So I've seen such videos before like that. It's actually cool. It's very, and the video was 1 hour long. And I tell you, I watched that thing from beginning to end.
And then
it was so nice.
And you'll be asking yourself, oh, why do I suddenly want to buy shades from only this particular brand? It's because you spent 1 hour watching it. You spent 1 hour, watching something that, they were able to engage you for an hour. That is sufficient enough for them to construct an opinion of their brand for you. So in your mind, after watching that 1 hour video, you'll be like, this might probably be very subconscious here, but you just be like, if I can just believe, I will achieve anything that I want, right? That can just be a lesson that they passed here. And then suddenly you just want to pick up their shades, because of their shades represents deep down what you represent. There's some brand that today I buy them because of I just feel like it represents me as a person. I don't want to call any brands here, but there's a phone brand that I use and I will still use and I will continue to still use, because I see kind of myself in the brand. That brand is so mad, but not everybody knows about it. They are so good at what they do, but they're just very, very low key. And I kind of see myself in that light. Excellence, premium. Excellent and premium. Not everybody is using it. It's just the people that know what they are doing that is using it. It's and for me, that just made me connect to the brand. So I perceive the brand to be this high quality brand that only few people can use, because of they understand it's it's how the customer perceives the company to be, right?
Yeah.
And the next type of video on my list are the how-to videos, right? Where you don't see a brand give a tutorial on how to do something. It's popular with makeup brands. You just give it tutorial. Like, they don't even do much. Just give it tutorial. And then because of you have the knowledge, right? You'll be like, oh, I can actually do this with this. One brand that really, 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 I'm so sorry, I have to mention it because this particular brand, when I watched their video, it was Schweppes. You know, Schweppes just started, like, they just made this what's it called? This how-to videos, how to make cocktails, I think. Or was it Schweppes? Yeah, I think it was Schweppes. You know, all those bar cocktails, they just said how to make it. And suddenly I was like, oh, so this is how to make all those bar cocktails. And I was like, okay, I want to impress my friends with this. I want them to come to my house one day and then they'll be like, oh, Alpha, do you guys want something? Do you want something to drink? And I'll be like, oh, so like I want to make some bar sophisticated cocktails for you guys, you know, all those things that, you know, like you go to restaurants and then they'll give you like, you know, they'll be like, so this is about 10,000 naira per glass. You know, I'll just make it to my house for you guys. You guys will feel like kings. So like that was very instructive. You know, it just makes you feel like, okay, you can create with their brand. Now that is seemingly subtle, or it's so powerful, because the truth is, deep down, everybody wants to create something. Everybody wants to say, oh, I made this. That's why to an extent, cooking is very interesting for some people. Not really for the purpose of the cooking itself, but just because of it, you can say, I created this.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Exactly. So anyways, there's the why type of video. You're probably asking, why am I, listing types of videos to, like answer the question of how important is a video. But the truth is, you have to understand what the videos are to understand why it's important. And you can see that, like, the first type of video, creating a story, it gets you to relate to the brand. And once you relate to the brand, they have you hooked. The second type of video is the how-to video. When you know how to use the brand, there's this tendency for you to just want to create more with the brand, right? And obviously, I'm referring to products for the how-to videos. I doubt that any service will want to teach you how to do their service on your own.
Yeah.
Then the third type of video is the why video. They just tell you why. Like, this is why you should use our product. This is what makes our product, our service unique. And this is why you need to use it. It doesn't even sound salesy. Like, it doesn't even sound like they want you to spend money on it. But those videos just make you discover, you know what? I think I want to use this car. I remember that for a brand like Ford spends big money on their branding, big money on their brand videos, big money, and they market it in a way that, come rain, come sunshine, come desert, come ocean. Yeah, I said that, come ocean. You can drive your car anywhere, and they just make you feel like, if I can just save money now and just buy a Ford, that means my car can last me like 10 years. No jokes. No jokes. That's that. And this your calculation just came because you watched a video.
Yeah.
They didn't say, come and buy our car. Our car is very cheap. They said, like, they'll literally just show you a car driving through a desert. That's all they will show you. Now, they won't tell you anything else. Just a car driving through a desert, a car driving through a forest, a car driving through a hilly road. That's all they will show you. And then they will just at the end of the video, at the end of the video, you just see them, have like a 360 show of the car. And it's not like, oh my goodness, this car even looks so good and it's so rugged. I'm gonna get myself a Ford. Why? Because of you've seen what it can do, and you've seen why you should get it. Or you can go to the electric car route. Tesla's major selling point is, don't worry, you guys will save the environment if you buy our Tesla cars. You save the environment.
You said it now. The way you said it now is just like, like, that's the part. Just get our cars. You'll be a good impact to the environment.
Do you understand?
Like,
do you understand? but the reason why I would say that the Apple phones are still well and heads and shoulders above the Samsung phone for
Yeah,
luxury,
yeah,
like
yeah.
for luxurious item. I would say that because of the iPhone was built on luxury from the
Yeah,
beginning to the
from the
end.
beginning.
However, Samsung recently, they did a 360. I think about 6 years ago. You know, I think their first Galaxy phone. No, not their first Galaxy phone, but before you would see them make phones that had great functionality. However, it didn't really look cool. But the
Mm-hmm.
iPhone has always been designed to look cool, to look just awesome. However, let's not even go into product self. Yeah, the point is for videos, you you watch the Apple, and there's always this calm guy talking. Um,
Mm.
then they mix they mix telling a story with with prestige. So
Mm.
I think one of the favorite what's it called? One of my personal favorite Apple videos of all time. What did they do? People, places,
Mm.
friends, loved ones. They're not showing you different things that everybody can relate to. And at some
Mm.
point, they now show how the iPhone connects everyone together. And I'm like, wow. Round of applause,
Mm.
ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause. Because now at this point, you obviously want to connect to people. You want to connect with friends. You want to connect with your loved ones. And they are telling you
Mm.
how with the iPhone. First off, it's not only the iPhone that connects people together, but then the iPhone was introducing something very massive. I think then it was the first time that internet 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 connections in phones were a thing. Sorry if I'm stuttering.
Mm.
First time internet connections in phones were a thing. And then at the iPhone, they now really, really made it all about them. And since then, they just took a huge jump. Or is it the first time Steve Jobs invented the iPod, and it was like 1,000? What if we have 1,000 songs? What if you had 1,000 songs in your pocket? I present to you the iPhone, and my goodness, people ran with it. So long
Yeah.
story short, yeah, the importance of video can't be understated. First off, you have to really strategize and then ask yourself, okay, what do I want? Like, when people see my product, when people see my service, what do I want them to think? What's the first thing I want them to think? Then you now put that into your video, in the sense that if you're making a brand that is for everybody, add some colors, make people happy, make people smile. But if you are making a product that is not for everybody, it's for the top class guys, right? For example, I don't know if you are familiar with with Sujimoto. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
they're,
yeah.
they're a real estate company, and I love them so much because they make me want to buy. They make me want to rent an apartment with them. They make me want to buy the houses. Do you know what they tell me?
Well,
They tell me this is not this house is for the 5% of you guys that can afford it.
ew.
And there's chip on my shoulder, like, wow, it's a lie. I must be a part of this 5% that can afford it.
Mm.
Do you get- So for every rich person out there, there's now this: who do you think you are? I can afford this. Do you
Yeah.
understand? So if you watch some perfume brands, have you noticed that perfume brands, if you watch their commercials, they don't spray the actual perfume. Like, there's no emphasis on the perfume. You just see a Victoria's Secret model just walking with one very, very nice cloth,
Mm.
and then everyone is now looking at her. Have you noticed? Like,
Yeah.
there's no emphasis on the perfume. You just see them walking, and then it's like all attention is going to them. It's like they are they're the light of the room, And then they
Yeah.
just put it in your mind that if you just spray the perfume, if you spray the perfume, like that is what. Now they didn't tell you to please buy this product. It will just cost you so and so and so. No, they just created a brand perception in your mind that you see. Once I walk through the room, and that's a story well told. That when I spray this perfume, the world does be like, oh my goodness, what's that beautiful smell? So that is what story is like. Video innately is visual storytelling. You can tell stories writing, but videos is just make it visual. You don't have to like carry my microphone and say buy my product. Yes, you can do that. That's also a type of commercial, but for a commercial that really creates a brand perception of what they perceive, anybody that watches the video, at the end of those videos, they'll just show the brand for like 2 seconds.
So I think from everything that you said, what's coming to my mind now is that you need to actually know the strategy you're going in terms of branding before you can actually start to create videos for your business.
Yep, very important.
So you don't just like start the business and like just say, okay, let's start making videos, because like there has to be a direction to how the video is going to look like and like what kind of perception you're actually trying to create and all of that. So like brand identity, brand strategy should actually be in place before you actually go to like start creating videos. That actually makes sense.
It all starts from, like I said, video is an excellent thing to add to your brand perception, but it all starts from simple things like the picture that you're posting, the code that you're making and stuff like that.
Everything ties to all the elements of branding, right? Ties to the strategy that you plan to use. Basically, what brand strategy are you using? Like, are you trying to feel comfortable for women? So let's say maybe you're making sanitary products for women. How do you want them to feel? All of that. The strategy has to be in place. And that image you have to have an idea of the kind of image you want before you start to even say, okay, this is what my logo will look like. These are the colors I will use. This is the video I will use. These are the pictures I'll take. All of that. Yeah. You've actually gone through like 4 of my questions in one go. Like, okay. So I think we should just talk about like how video builds trust. So like, what exactly? Obviously, is the story. But like, okay, how often does one have to like post these videos, to build that trust? Because obviously it's not just once that somebody will see a video of a brand and like they just fall in love. Like, because sometimes it could take like 2-3 videos. It could take like you seeing that brand like 5 times before you like even say, okay, what are these people even doing? For you to even be curious and all of that. So like, how often would you say a business should post those kind of videos? Like, that's aside from like daily social media content, all that stuff. Like, I mean, commercials, campaigns, documentaries, things like that. Like, how often should one like post those videos to build trust?
Okay, so when you say post those videos, I'm going to just assume that you don't mean one video. You mean multiple videos. Definitely.
Yeah, you mentioned 3 types of videos.
So there are 2 things I would say, right? Number one, when a brand associates itself with a particular occurrence, for example, Budweiser, a popular beer brand in the US, was associating themselves with the success of the Cubs in baseball. The Cubs is a baseball team. I hope it's a baseball team. Before I'll be giving you guys bad information, but the Cubs is they're an American sports team. I think they're baseball, and then Budweiser. At that point, the Cubs won their first ever World Series, and that's like winning like Champions League in America, right? And they won their first ever World Series, and then suddenly Budweiser came from nowhere, and they were showing highlights of the wins, and then they were showing people celebrating. People were just happy, and obviously at the end they will not show Budweiser. But the point is, those people that were happy and celebrating, they were holding Budweiser, right? So Budweiser helps you celebrate with your friends. right? Great. Now, how does that answer your question? That was a campaign for that period of time. So obviously they were pushing as much content as they could to help the Cubs fans celebrate, and obviously to help them, every Cubs fan at that point to go with their friends to the bar and drink a Budweiser. So at that point they were pushing as much content relevant to what was happening at that point in time. So it's all about relevance. I was a digital marketer for a period of time. I still am at heart. It's about understanding trends. You get. So when you understand these trends, then you can be able to say, okay, you know what, these are the videos that my brand should be posting at this period of time. And you need to have a very excellent strategist on your team. And for all those soap proprietors out there, you might probably have to conduct serious surveys. It skips my mind what those surveys are even called in digital marketing, but you have to really understand why you are posting what you're posting. Now, concerning how often should you post, if you have the videos to post every week, voila, enjoy. It's to be honest, one thing I know about brand perception is that the brands are actually trying their best to be in front of the customers at every single period in time.
Yeah.
Because if everywhere you turn, I mean, think about it. One of the reasons why Coke is so popular is because Coke is everywhere. Coke is legit everywhere. It's everywhere. You turn to your left, you see Coke. Your right, you see Coke. You get? Or is it Fanta? Turn left, right, front, center. You see it everywhere. You travel to other states in Nigeria, you probably see Coke and Fanta. Can I shock you guys? You probably not see their competitors. You can't see them in Warri. You can't see them in. I was so shocked. I traveled to Delta State and there was this brand that I was drinking and I couldn't find them in the whole of Delta State, and I was shocked. Something that you, like, every store you see this in Lagos. So things like that influence brand perception. So if you can pump out videos, and then keep shoving it down the throats. Sorry, that sounds very weird, but you keep showing people that, okay, keep showing people that, see, this is my brand. This is my brand. Now, it might be received with ferocity at the beginning. Let me say it this way. Like I said, don't cancel me. Let me say it this way. So, the first time, most of us in Africa, we are conservative, right? But the first time, we saw an LGBTQ movie, we were like, oh my goodness, they are kissing. Oh no. The second time, we're like, stop kissing, Joe. The third time, we now became indifferent. And then, the more we watched it, the more at some point, we started rooting for a gay couple. We started rooting for a gay couple and stuff like that. It just depends. It depends on, number one, how many times did you see it, and at some point you just feel like, it's there. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's there. Just even try it. I'm not saying try those guys. I'm saying the brand. Let me just try. Try the brands, and because it's always there. And think about it. Most of the biggest brands that we know today, we have this perception that they're always there. MTN, everywhere you go. Their tagline was actually based on the fact that, like, everywhere you go, there's always MTN coverage. But they pumped out so much ads that you just felt like, they're actually just everywhere. Or their major competitor, Airtel and Glo. At some point, Airtel was doing some campaigns. They've stopped now, and now they've even calmed down because I don't really know why I'm using Airtel again. But before, they were doing this family campaigns, like this video, right? I think I even know the company who even did it for them, but they were doing this. Okay, I think it was the name skips my mind, but one very very beautiful Noah's Ark. Yes, Noah's Ark Communication was the one who did that campaign for Airtel, and it was you're watching something, and then the next thing you just see Airtel, and then you just see a family skit, and the family skit leads back to how Airtel has plenty internet and stuff like that, and then Glow even saw that wait, this thing is working, no. Glow now started doing their own. So now anytime you see a Glow advert, you see, first of all, you see a story, then you see a relatable story. Then who comes through for them? Glow comes through for them. Now the first time you saw the video, you were like, oh, nice. But second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time, it's called sensitization. They sensitize you to the product, service, or company. It's always there. So at some point, you're gonna have to just try it. And let me not even talk about video for a split second. There's a strategy that a popular company used. They increased their sales by about 58, might say above 50%. Sharp. What they did was they filled trash cans. Actually, is actually more than that. I think they doubled their turnovers. They filled all the trash cans in America with bottles of their beer. Think about that.
Oh,
exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
That actually makes sense.
Exactly. So now every time someone goes to the trash can, they're like, wow, so many guys have drank this thing. This thing must be really good. Now they now go back to the store and say, can I have this? And then they're like, okay, sure. And then they now drink that, and then they now like it, and then even if they don't like it as much, because everybody is drinking it, I don't want to be left out. Do you understand?
Feeling of missing out.
Do you understand? Feeling of missing out. Thank you. It's just the brands playing with the perception. Everybody in the world is drinking it. Why shouldn't I? It's the same thing as getting influencers to use your product. Oh my goodness, this person is using it. Oh no, I want to be like this person, so definitely I have to use it also. Why did I bring up that example? They kept it in the face of people. It's like you walk out, the first thing you see is a trash can. Half of the trash can is a can of beer. My goodness. So it's the same way for TV, for Instagram, for social media in general. The truth is, the more content you release, the more video content you release, the more higher the chances of your customers reaching out, right? And I'm not saying as per numbers. I'm saying as per, like, you are everywhere. I don't know if you guys watch YouTube as much as me, but Wings.com, they had ads everywhere. Like, I'm watching a video and then I'll just say, hi, my name is, and I use Wings, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Now, the first time I wanted to create a website, guess which website I thought of first? Just guess. Wings. Take a wild guess. Obviously, it was super easy. Or the first time I wanted to buy a domain name. There's this video I used to watch. Then I'm a filmmaker, so I watch Film Riot. Domain.com sponsored them for like 200 videos. Domain.com, and I watched like 200 videos to the point where I could say the brand like the way they would say the brand. Domain.com. That's how they said it in their videos. So I now started to say it like them because of how much I had watched their adverts. I wanted to buy a domain name for my friend. What did I think of? Surprise, surprise. Domain.com. Do you understand? So it's super important. Super important because
that's actually how I got to know Wix, because I actually use Wix for my website, and like they even created a more advanced version, Editor X. Yeah, that one like does responsive web design and all. That's actually what I've been using, and I even promote them stuff on my Instagram. I always talk about it.
See, so it's just like how often you can go every day if you're a boss like that. I mean, I mean, and then think about it. The consistency is going to help you from a social media perspective. The platform that you are using to post your content will definitely push your content, except if you have plenty money and you're going on TV. If you're going on TV, there's no holla. Enjoy yourself, spend as much money as you can for a period of time, right?
Yeah.
And then obviously use that to evaluate, if you should continue, what you should change. It's like, a campaign. So I personally think you should probably structure your video productions into campaigns, right? Do as much for a period of time, see how that works, correct, then do another campaign. So you do the campaign, correct, do another campaign. The work never stops, man. The work can never stop, because of last you want to see continuous profit. You don't want profit to be high and then that stop.
One time low. Yeah. Okay. So I was going to say cost, because like a lot of people, also from my experience of like working with businesses, they reach out to us at Serafix. They want to design their brand strategy, they want to do their identity and everything, but they can't afford it, right? And like, obviously they can't afford branding. When it comes to now marketing, how do they afford it? And like, obviously you want to make videos are expensive. It's more expensive than pictures, mainly because video actually communicates better than pictures, because pictures you're left to like conceive or pick what you want from the image, but video they're actually telling you what to see, but it's expensive, right? So what advice would you give to small business owners, people that are just coming up? How do you think they can go about the financial route? Because like, I'm even talking from experience, because there are lots of things I would have loved to do, but then the money is like really high. I mean, like millions of naira. Do you get? Like, what would you say to people like us?
So the answer to the question, very, very simple in my opinion. Actually, it's not very simple. It's actually quite complicated. How do you create a brand strategy or brand without, first off, have what you want? As the CEO of your company, it doesn't matter if the money is not there yet. Have what you want. Now, do the little things correctly. People just want to, what's it called? They just want boom, boom, boom success. No, you have to start by doing the little things correctly. Write down your goals and objectives for your company. Write down a tagline for your company. It's just do the little things correctly. Okay. When it comes to videos, it's just a matter of, this. it's a matter of like, you can actually make a very, very good emotional video without busting your buck. I can give you plenty examples, but the thing is, you have to find the one that best relates to your brand and to one that like best creates the type of perception that you want. Do you know one of the easiest ways to create a brand perception, right? And this is an idea that your audience, they're probably going to steal. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry for all my clients. So sorry. But you can easily just, get some of your customers, let them talk about the product for like 20 seconds. Combine those videos together. You have 1 minute of fellow people talking extensively. Somebody saying 20 seconds is even too much, but maybe like 5 seconds here and there of satisfied customers. That is so big. Like, you don't even understand how big that is. That different people from different walks of life can talk about how they use your product, and then there's this video that I watched. It was on somebody's WhatsApp status. Her friend was talking about her perfumes, and I was like, man, this your friend just makes me want to buy it. And I was like, you know what? Can I have your price list? I would love to get some. This was just because of her friend. I'm not joking. Her friend had this accent actually, so maybe that's what attracted me also. Her friend had this foreign accent, and then she was like, "Hi guys, so I just got this product from this person, and oh my god, it makes me smell like lavenders. Oh my god, I smell so good. And I was like, oh my goodness. Now I want to smell so good also. Because hopefully if I smell so good, I will talk like her. I'm joking. I'm joking. but to an extent, it was just she just expressed satisfaction. That was it. And I was hooked. Do you understand? So it's not that deep. It's really not that deep. You don't have to spend the buck. However, if you're a brand that, wants to be associated with prestige, then you might have to think more creatively.
Yeah.
You have to think more creatively. For example, if you're doing a prestigious brand, you might have to, like, for example, the Sense girl, she didn't even break a buck. She just got, her friend has a very nice accent. And suddenly, I wanted to use the product. It could be a guy just really cool, talking in this type of voice. Then he's like, do you understand what it means to use Vaseline? And that is it. That is it. You don't have to have marketing skills. You just have to have customer satisfaction. Customers who are willing to do a short video for you to tell people how satisfied they are. And it's like word of mouth. The same way some customers will carry your program like, oh my goodness, this thing changed my life. Just transform that into video. That's all. So it's all about creativity, right? For example, now, if I have a perfume brand, I won't even do too much. I'll just do a video. Wow, see, ideas are even coming just on this call. It's about how creative you are, and if you have a creative team, or if you have someone in your life that is creative, you guys can do wonders. I can just do a video of somebody running or walking. Let's just walking, and then in fact, let's even remove somebody. Probably you don't have someone that can help you. And just do a simple video, right? Of the camera is going somewhere. Ultimately, it now goes to where the product is. Now, that can just be content created for a particular season, a particular period. People are curious, okay, what's happening? Boom, the product. Now, at first, they can be like, but the next time, they will genuinely be wondering how she's going to review her product the next time. Do you understand? These things are simple, but in the long run and in the short run, sometimes very effective. Because if your product has a very good packaging, show it in a video. It doesn't have to be pictures. Show it in a video. Show it creatively in a video. If you are familiar with juice brands, what do? They splash the juice inside water. They throw fruits on the air. They splash it inside ice. No, I'm serious. They splash it inside ice. They pour the drink inside glass. They pour it out of the glass. That's the video. Actually. But that's the video. So it can just be a simple video, where you are pouring it into the glass and then it looks very good being poured inside the glass. And like, man, the viewers are something like, oh my goodness, like, should I have this? So to be honest, there's really no written rule for how to save money.
So that brings us to the end of this podcast. I appreciate you for coming on the podcast, and I'm glad that you're able to share. I really hope this reaches a lot of people so that people can learn, because there are a lot of businesses, small business owners are struggling, trying to make sales, and they don't know what to do and stuff like that. So I'm grateful. Yeah, and thank you for joining us today. Would you like to say a few votes of thanks?
Hey, it's not a vote of thanks. I beg. Anyways, thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure. I felt smart today. I felt very smart today. I felt like I actually knew something. It was so cool. So cool.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening to the end of this episode. If you guys need links to reach out to Nelson or reach out to us, everything will be in the description of the podcast below. We really love to work with you and help you figure out your branding and all of that. If you also want to ask more questions and all, feel free to reach out to us. You can also ask questions on the episode itself here, and we'll definitely respond to your questions. So yeah, that being said, we'll see you in our next episode. Bye.